Hi guys, I wanted to do a video on infection control right now, because I'm a nut about it and it's just so important. And I just want to give you all a heads up and a couple of ideas on how to keep the infection control going after you leave the unit, the facility, the building, the hospital, the patient's home, the client or the client's home, whatever. To me, if you have patients that are total care and you are exposed to saliva, bowel, urine, when I come home and I live in an apartment, I leave my nursing shoes outside or whatever, and I only bring them inside, and I have to literally put them in a plastic bag and bring them right to my balcony to clean them out there because you walking and stuff. And heaven forbid if you work in a nasty facility where the janitorial staff is not 5 star. To me, the janitorial staff are so important because they keep the facility clean. And if you don't have one that's 5 stars, then you probably, there's probably like dried up BM somewhere. There's probably urine that hasn't really been cleaned really good, blood. I mean, everything that you can think of. So to me, like I told y'all, I leave my nursing shoes. I wear clogs because they're just comfortable to me. Crocs. But if you wore tennis shoes, if you wore whatever you wear, leave them at the door. If you work in somewhere where they're total dependents and you get in a lot of body fluids and stuff, I don't let that come through the door. Get rid of my shoes right when I hit the door. Then wash your uniforms separately. I would say wash your uniforms separately and wash them on hot water. I mean, to me, if you go to work and your patient has infectious stuff and you know how you have to take their stuff and put it separately. If you have a facility that wash the stuff separately, you have to, the infectious stuff from the regular stuff that's getting took down. To me, that means you should wash your uniform separately from your clothes because those clothes have been exposed to so much stuff. I mean, let's think about the spores that tack onto, your clothing. That's why you're wearing the PPEs in the beginning. I would wash them separately in the hottest water you got. Get some good uniforms so that they don't shrink in the hottest water and just keep them separate. That's just the best thing to do. And if you can get you a separate laundry bin for your clothes and tie them off so that you don't expose your family to anything. Even though we all know you did your PPEs correctly, but just for another phase. Because what if you didn't have to wear PPEs? What if you was just doing something regular and you know how we are with our patients. They're older, so we be so loving to them. Oh, mama, this, and don't call them mama. Now I know this. We listen. I know that we call them mama and pops and dad and grandma and all that, but you're not supposed to do it. It's a dignity issue. You're supposed to call them Miss or Mister unless they instruct you to do otherwise. But let's be real. A lot of mama, mama, woo woo, we do that. They get to hugging on you and touching on you, and they can't do things the way they used to do them. You know what I'm saying? They cannot wipe themselves the way that they used to. Some of them, depending on their level of function. And usually the ones who we are babying the most are the ones who can't really do what they used to do or whatever. So I would say just basically, um, yeah, wash them clothes separately in the hottest water. Wash your hands a lot. My hands be so dry because I wash my hands so much in scalding water because and I that little foam, no. I will wash my hands and then use the foam as just an extra, whatever, because it's so important to do. Like, ugh, and watch your coworkers because they're not going to wash their hands good. They're not going to do it perfectly. They're going to just wash their hands. If they wash their hands, they might go from patient to patient. They might take them godforsaken gloves from one room and travel all through the hallway, and that's a huge no-no. That is so gross. But a lot of people do that. You just see them gloves. Dun, 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 dun. It's like Jason to me. Like, I just feel like, but I'm not like a goody two shoes, so I'm not gonna be like scolding people, but I be like, ugh, like, you know. So you really cannot trust people in this field. I'm talking about none of them, nurses, doctors, none of them, because they be doing some disgusting stuff. But you need for your own health being, because if you don't wash your hands properly and then don't, I'm a eater. I stay with a stash of candy, shit, something. Can you imagine? And don't let your nails, like you, I keep my nails short. I rarely get a manicure. I'll paint my nails on my own, but it's just not even worth it because it just goes so fast. But you let your nails get a milli-inch longer than they usually are, they will pierce through them gloves. If your nails are the kind that pierce, that grow fast, or what's the other thing? You keep your nails a little long because you still want to be fabulous and everything. Double your gloves so that I double my gloves anyway, just on GP, because it's nothing worse than if your hands go through them gloves and you don't know what kind of facility you got. They might be cheap. They might get the cheap gloves. Ugh. If your fingers go through them gloves, you will be so pissed. You will be so mad. What's another thing I can tell y'all? Carry your own hand sanitizer. Even though, just wash your hands. You're supposed to wash your hands when you come in anyway. You know what I mean? You wash your hands when you come in, and you wash your hands when you leave. If your maintenance is not good about keeping paper towels and stuff, then sometimes you have to go to Central Supplies on your own and just have the stuff that you need, because you might work at a sucky facility. Your hospital might be dirty. Your convalescent home might be dirty. Your healthcare center might be dirty. The assisted living place might be dirty. But you have to just be like, okay. And I know that they get cheap about their supplies. Some places are very stingy about their supplies. That is so annoying to me because they're making so much money. You would be surprised. You would be surprised how much money they're getting for the care. And they will justify every dime in there. When they wash their clothes, they're getting money for that. When they, the room, they're getting money from that. I mean, some of the cheap facilities, it might cost you like $2,000 to share a room. And some of the more expensive rooms, it might cost them upwards to $9,000. You know what I'm saying? So just depending on where it is, but I don't know. I'm going into something else. But the cleanliness is very, 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 very important for yourself. And when you go to work, look around. Look, when you go on your clinical sites, look around. Mm. Don't go making a big stink about it. That's an unwritten rule. Don't be going to make a big stink about it, but sometimes you have to be a leader and lead by example. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you how many times I've called for assistance for somebody to help me, and they was not even thinking to maybe pull a resident up using the chuck or what do y'all call it, the draw sheet or whatever. The chuck or the draw sheet, and they not gonna use they gloves. I mean, that's they bed sheets. I mean, they be urinating, having BNs. A lot of our elderly people like to blow their nose and leave the snotty thing. Now you see, you wonder why you always sick. We always sick on this unit. Yeah, because y'all don't never clean y'all, because y'all don't never wash y'all hands. So touching on their sheets is a no go for me. I do not want to touch your sheets, honey. And that's why too, if they sheet, you supposed to be able to, you're not supposed to use your gloves while putting their sheets, because that's all supposed to be clean. I use mine, but clean gloves, please, because you just never know what's in them sheets. And if your patient has wet the sheets, please change them. Just go ahead and change them, because it's just so gross. So just I'm rambling, but just please, 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 please be clean about it, because it's easier to take the shortcuts. It's easy not to put your gloves on, but you'll regret it in the long run. I'm trying to tell you, and these patients have infectious stuff going on. You know what I mean? You don't want that nasty cough that they got. If they got a cough, what? Hold on. Where's my mask? Because you is not about to be. You is not a. But don't do it like that though. You have to be very very sweet about it, because when they were younger they wouldn't live like that. They weren't nasty people. It's just that now they're in a situation where they can't um do it the way that they used to for whatever reason, arthritis, and they can't see, or they losing different senses and stuff like that, which you all learned about in your reading or whatever. So anyway, I'm leaving. I just wanted to do a video on that. Bye. Thank you for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, ask me questions or whatever. I really haven't been getting my questions because I swore I had my YouTube synced to my phone, but I have to literally go in my Gmail to see it or whatever. But if you want to leave a comment or a question, leave it and I will answer it as soon as I get it. Thank you all. Good luck. Have fun. And get paid. Get money. Bye, guys.